Okay, let's check out this documentary. If it's a snoozer within the first like 5 minutes, we can skip.
I am a woman. And this is a bridge. And despite our vast differences, we are very much in love.
I thought it
And
was the
our
Aethel Tower she's in love with.
in itself is no different from any other love that exists between two beings. One of the most difficult parts of being in love with a public object is that he and I can never be truly intimate.
Oh, that's
Whereas
true.
objects I've loved in the past, that's never been an issue.
You can never have alone time.
I feel very, very blessed to have a
She's
piece
wearing a shirt. She's wearing a shirt.
of my sweet Golden Gate Bridge.
What?
And I just hope that when I make love with this piece of him, that he can sense and feel how much I really, really love him.
Okay, the dolphin fucker guy was like extremely insane and fucked up in like a depressing way, but this is like insane and fucked up in like a endearing way.
Because I am in love with the Golden Gate Bridge in San Francisco. And the Golden Gate Bridge.
That bridge has more riz than me.
Yeah, I've been in love with a public object. My ex-wife.
Her friends as Nyshow. He's one of just 40 people in the world who call themselves objectum sexuals. People who have loving relationships with objects. Nyshow has many lovers. Her most famous ones these days are the Berlin Wall and the Eiffel Tower.
Wait, so she's in like a polyamorous relationship? What does the bridge and the Eiffel Tower think about that? Are they okay with that?
Her love for objects is behind
How
her
does she
considerable
know?
athletic success.
Change
She's a
her mind.
world-class
This girl's a
archer,
fucking
thanks to her long-term relationship with a bow.
Two timing.
Which is not wanting to come here. This bow is Tenchan. And it was indeed the first bow I ever fell in love with. He belonged to a guy that I was attempting to have a relationship with. And the sad part is he broke up with me because I loved his bow more than I loved his bow more than him, and
That is sad.
he was rather offended.
When you say you date these guys, does
He
it
got
mean you
cooked
do
by
have
a
sex
bull.
with them?
Oh, no. No, we never get to that point. Oftentimes they always said, I'll be the guy that'll make her change her mind. And I never liked that attitude, so.
No.
I mean, I didn't date a whole lot of guys, but the ones that I did didn't work out simply because of the sex part.
May I have your attention, please?
The bow, called Lance, propelled her to become a world champion gold medalist
What's
and
its
a
name?
record breaker.
Lars? Lars and
But she's been
Wilbur?
out of love with him for a couple
Holy
of
shit,
years
people
now.
do anything but go to
This national
therapy.
championship is
Well,
the first one since
as
their
long as
relationship
she's happy, I
cooled.
guess. She's not hurting anyone,
The competition brings back good memories.
but
Lance knows he's good looking.
Lance, his name is Lance.
And initially, I was attracted to him because of his
yeah.
looks. We've had a pretty hot and heavy relationship for quite some time. But when we got together out there on the archery field, I realized it was more than just his aesthetic appeal to me.
Huh?
Everyone knew that I was an archer, knew that I loved my bow, but they didn't realize I loved my bow.
Ooh, that's what she means.
You know, Lance and I, we were such a great team because we had that connection on every single level.
Do you think they get into fights? Like, do you think they get into like arguments? Do they ever have days where they're like, I just cannot deal with you right now, and like maybe she puts the bow on the couch when she goes to bed for the night?
I mean, I'd almost swear that my blood just flowed from my arm and went right into him.
Whoa!
I just, you know, felt like the molecules in him were flowing back into my arm. I used to feel so connected with him.
Is it mechanically, is it similar to a woman having sex with a man?
I would say yes. I would say that the, you know, I mean, orgasm, all that is involved, foreplay, afterplay, all of that. And I think the emotional aspect of it is probably similar. I would imagine, or I would hope so, because I'd say the sex is really great for me. So if everyone else is having that kind of sex, I think it's wonderful. The world should have more of that.
What? What? Refuses to elaborate. Fires a bow.
Okay, 276.
Have all those shots been clean, or any of them been line breakers?
Anthony is her coach
Bro,
and a
that looks
friend
like
who's
Peter
known
Griffin
her
in
for
real
years.
life.
At first, I thought it was a little strange because she would always be with her bow. And then one time, I recall she told me that she slept with Lance. And my first reaction was that this is a little weird. But having known her for a couple of years and having as much respect for her, both as an athlete and as a person, I said, well, maybe, you know, I should listen a little more closely to what this is all about.
What the?
Peter, I fucked the bow again.
But things are different now. Working with an ex is never easy. Nisha no
hit the
longer feels at
bullseye.
one with her bow.
8.
8.
That last one was?
You pulled it. The last one, you pulled it.
I couldn't keep the sight on.
Really? Well,
Nisha has come third in her category, a defeat for the former world champion.
I feel
She
like
doesn't
this would,
even
like,
want to collect her
complicate
trophy.
things.
You know, I
Like,
have
if you're trying to be like a professional bowman or whatever, like, wouldn't the romantic relationship with your bow get in the way of like performing?
very
Or
little pride
would it make it better?
right now when it comes to my archery. And I know I'm a good shooter.
all right, well, that's why you should go up and get your reward.
Please don't ask me to do this. And please don't be disappointed that I don't do it. But I am on the verge of having an absolute just meltdown.
Could it be considered a coworker?
Don't think I can put myself in that position.
Maybe it's kind of like those like ice skating couples, I guess, in a way. But like with her and her bow.
This is your third place trophy.
Thank you. I appreciate you collecting it for me.
Is that
Congratulations.
McDonald's?
Thank you,
Oh my
Anthony.
god, McDonald's. That would look great.
I know I've disappointed a lot of people.
I'm
I
going
know
to have
I've
a
disappointed
romantic
myself,
relationship with a
but
McFlurry.
I'm trying to keep alive something that I'm not in love with anymore. And now I've put myself in an extremely complex situation because my heart decided it wanted to fall in love with something that's almost completely out of my reach.
Oh no. So it is interfering.
A year ago at a private ceremony, she married the Eiffel Tower, pleading eternal love to the iconic structure.
Did she get
Since
a
then, she's been
tattoo
losing interest in her archery career.
of the Eiffel Tower?
I stand with you
Who are the objectum sexuals? Why are their passions so intense? And why do they prefer the coldness of concrete to the warmth of a human body?
I'm like torn because they're not hurting anyone, but
Objectum
like it seems like it like
the US
interferes with their
people,
relationship
fall
with
in
other
love with
people.
objects,
like
not human
just
beings.
romantic, but like friendships.
They also
and
give
stuff.
them names, depending on their gender.
Why are some of the objects a he and some are a she?
Well, gender doesn't actually, you know, the object, obviously you can't lift up a leg on the Eiffel Tower and see whether she's male or female, but I think really what it
What
boils
if
down
you
to is
could?
we can't call the object an it, because in the language that we speak, referring to something as an it instantly means it's inanimate. I just kind of get a
Does
sense
it?
of whether the object is male or female. It's Eiffel
don't
Tower, she's the
think
Grand
that's how
Madame of
that
Paris.
works.
I mean, I didn't determine her gender, she did, obviously. I mean, I just want to be with her. Where you guys like catch me having sex with the Eiffel Tower, it'd be great.
Doesn't Japanese have that where if something is like inanimate, you use arimas instead of
Sweden was
imas?
the birthplace of objectum sexuality.
If there's a dead body, do you say dead body ga
Pia-Rita
arimas?
coined the term when she married the Berlin Wall in the 70s. She changed her name to Frau Berliner Mauer, Mrs. Wall.
Did you have a chance to have a sexual encounter with the wall
The
at that time?
sexiest wall ever.
No, yeah, yes.
You made love?
Yes,
Yeah?
yes, and that's private.
And that was
She
good?
doesn't kiss and tell.
Yes.
Was it a good experience?
Yes, it was good. It was good.
Mr. Gorbachev, let's tear down this wall.
That one too.
Yeah?
Yes.
Tear that fucking thing out.
Aethelsta used to be in a loving relationship with a guillotine.
What? How do you get into a relationship with a guillotine?
These days, she lives on her own with 9 cats in a large house in northern Sweden. She doesn't travel anymore, but instead has created a model museum dedicated to her lovers on the ground floor.
Maybe she really liked death grips,
Aethelstan's
maybe.
father, who was a model maker, taught her how to build them.
Have you had any relationships with people at all in your life?
No.
Men or women?
No, no, no.
No, no, no.
No, no, no.
Did she say I don't know?
From her house in Sweden, Aethelstan has had an enormous influence on other objectum sexuals around the world. All of
My
whom
only
are
friends are
women.
my cats and the Berlin Wall.
Before the internet came along, they were all alone. Now they can share their lives with each other. Aethelstan passed on her model-making skills to Nyanners, who now has a collection of her own. Many of the models are of the Berlin
Do you
Wall.
think like love
very-
is like people who have like a obsession or like a hobby that they're really into, and they kind of like a wire gets crossed in their brain and they think that they're like turned on by it, when it's just like they're really, really excited about walls or like dinosaurs or something?
Very special lover.
I can't exactly go and curl up and sleep with the Eiffel Tower every night, nor the Golden Gate
Yeah,
Bridge
their
or the Berlin
neurons got
Wall.
too activated.
So I have to suffice with handcrafting models. This particular wall in Berlin, I have a very, very deep relationship with, and so he's pretty special.
Nyanners
he?
loves the models and is intimate with them too. She usually carries at least one of them at all times.
Aww.
You make me feel so alive.
Wait, this is the
1001
lady
Octa.
who's attracted to a fair ride.
I can touch the sky as your counterweights descend and your gondola rises. My days are brighter when I gaze upon your handsome face.
Amy Wolf, like Nyanners, is also a member of Aethelstan's internet group.
I'm glad that I'm alive,
Wait,
so I can
why
fly
are there
with
so
you.
many like women object sexuals? There's gotta be like guys who are like, oh man, I really like the World Trade Center, the new one, not the old one, or like, oh, I really like fire trucks, or the balloon guy. I remember the balloon guy.
How are people not able to see this for what it is? Please, someone get this poor woman some professional help.
I think maybe she tried. I don't know. Yeah, there's plane guys. There's the car guy. I feel like the balloon guy is like a separate thing though. Like this is like, feels like a separate kind of like pocket, like a separate rabbit hole.
Amy's main lover is a humble fairground ride called 1001 Nacht. Amy is also in love with this little banister called Lou in her bedroom.
Do you sort of think about him then as you're holding him like this?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
What type of thought is in your mind?
Comfort. Peace. Warmth. A feeling of being loved. Happiness. Hello, nice show.
Nyanners has flown in to meet her.
Do they have like a convention for this kind of thing?
Good to see you.
It's good to be seen.
The silly meter is an all-time
Yes,
low.
that's my trademark.
Very cool. Hey, 1001 Knock, how you doing?
He
Everyone's
says he's
so
doing great.
freaked
He's looking
out.
forward to seeing me tomorrow.
Oh, my boys are kind of still mad at me because they're wrapped in plastic.
She's got a pin of the tower.
The two love to visit New York, an OS paradise full of seductive structures.
You can feel the energy in the city, and it's not all from the people. No. I mean, it's more, actually, I think it's more about the buildings. Yeah, definitely. I mean, look at that building right there.
If there's someone who likes the Eiffel Tower, there's gotta be someone who's like attracted to the World
Yeah, I
Trade
like
Center
glass.
before
I like
what
glass.
happened
I like
to it.
steel.
Do you think they were
I
like
Aluminum. I
So
really like
fucked up by
aluminum.
that, like even more so
I mean,
than
I don't know
the
how
rest
an
of
English
America.
person could survive in this city and
Like
stay
it was like
sane
their girlfriend died.
with all the magnificent objects here.
The Empire State Building is one of Amy's
It's like they were
regular
kids
lovers.
that were not loved.
I think,
One of
Amy
them
has a few
goes
words
off
for
and
you,
makes
so I'll let you
giant
go along,
robots,
okay?
and the other gets into developing AI.
Maybe. I don't want to psychoanalyze them too much.
Public displays of affection are often a
How does
problem.
this happen? Like, what happens, like, in your brain? Do you just, like, see a building one day and just, like, something snaps and you're just like, I love it? Is it, like, falling in love at first sight, but with, like, an object?
I think we're
What
being
happened?
watched. Yes, I'm
Childhood
fine.
trauma? It could be a part. Wait, is there anyone in the chat
Okay,
that,
sir.
like,
I'm sorry.
their significant other is a building? Or, like, a plane or a car?
How was it?
You think any of these ladies have an intimate relationship with a nuclear warhead and did the thing?
Yeah.
There has to be one of them.
You know, every time I
What-
see the
someone
city
out there.
and, you know,
Maybe
look
someone
at
is
the
like
World
really into
Financial
tanks.
Center
That I
that's
can
in front
understand. Not in like that way, but like seeing a tank and be like, oh fuck yeah, you know?
of where the Twin Towers used to be, I'll just never get used to it. You know, used to him being gone.
Or like a fighter jet.
To Amy, the Twin Towers is a single entity, a he, and she still loves him, even though he's now gone.
I'll always care for you.
No. I swear to God I did not pre-watch this. Do you think do you think she's a poser? Do you think she only started liking the World Trade Center like after 2001? Or do you think she's like an old fan, like an old head?
A he, and she still loves him, even though he's now gone.
She doesn't
I'll always
seem
care
old
for you.
enough to have like liked it before.
Somehow,
you
in
know?
Amy's mind, her love for the Twin Towers has made her parents' divorce and disasters that followed more bearable.
What?
After my dad left, after my mom suffered cancer, after we lost our home and everything in it, after we both lost our jobs, twice in our 6-year relationship together, I came close to taking my life.
Oh my God.
But my love for him and for his spirit gave me the strength and the courage to stay alive,
What? So,
to not take my life.
damn.
I'll always have a place in my heart for you.
Why
I mean,
would a
it's nice
person
if it
choose to
helps her
seek
in that
solace in their
way.
relationships with objects?
I always thought, like, okay, if you were to personify the Twin Towers, wouldn't it be like twins? Like, maybe one of them is like the guy tower and the other is the girl or what have you? Or maybe they're both guys, both girls? Well, she said him, implying that it was just one. Like, the Twin Towers is just one entity. Yeah, maybe, like, you know how in anime pictures they, like, personify various things like car parts or, like, animals, Pokemon? They should do that with, like, different buildings.
Rather than people. Amy lives with her mum in Allentown, not far away from New York.
Our family was always dysfunctional. I was always under constant stress. I
Oh,
worked
God.
2 jobs because my husband
Do you
was
think
out
she
of
got,
work
like,
more
really
than he was in
depressed when
work.
it went down?
My dad was always very distant and very disconnected from the rest of the members of his family. If you look closely at the picture, you can almost see in his eyes that he is distant. I am holding a small red container in my hands. I've always, all my life, had some kind of
Chat
object
saying they
close
need
by
drugs and
that I
therapy
loved.
just to cuddle with their anime body pillows tonight.
True.
This is not all my collection. This is just, I'd say, 3/4 of my
Oh, these
collection. I
people
have
need
about
therapy.
50 different sets of dolls.
Fuck, these people need help. Oh
As
man,
far
I
as
hope
I'm
I pull a
concerned, they're better
5-star
than
on
having a man in my bedroom.
Kiwi-chan's
And
Golden
that's what I
Adventure
do for my
tonight.
fun.
We are not the same.
Amy was
Sure.
identified at age 3 as developmentally delayed In first grade, she was classified as an emotionally disturbed student and placed in a full-time SED classroom. Amy was hospitalized in the psychiatric ward at St. Luke's at age 19. She is a loner who, since a child, has fixated on objects, organs, fans, globes, washing machines, spaceships.
Like body organs?
And she is currently fixated with the Twin Towers. Conclusion. Amy appears to meet the criteria for a diagnosis of Asperger's disorder.
Oh, like... This is before... Isn't Asperger's not really a thing anymore? People just say you're part of the autism spectrum. That makes sense. Because it's like having a special interest,
The
right?
difference is I hide my
Like a
shame.
fixation. The difference is I hide my shame. She has pride, bro, for the American landmark. An American landmark that stood for something. Yeah, like a hyperfixation.
Autistic spectrum, which makes it difficult for a person to make connections with other people.
I personify objects. My stuffed animals.
Do you think there's someone out there who is romantically attracted to mggp?
Maybe.
She believes that she was born this way. And I'm convinced it's everything that's happened along the way that has brought her to the point that she knows these objects won't hurt her, they won't talk back to her, they won't threaten her.
True.
She feels safe with the objects. I think she'll never know what it's like to be loved by another human being. To be physically in contact with another human being.
God, when you go through
my
so
heart
much
breaks
trauma
that
like
she'll never know this.
It's like almost impossible to trust another human being. You have to like work on yourself so much to be able to open yourself back up to any kind of like potential hurt or trauma. God damn.
And
that's rough.
It's kind of difficult for me to accept this, but what choice do I have? She's my daughter, and I love her.
At least she's like, her mom is kind of supportive.
For every lover I've ever had, I will always have a place in my heart for all of them.
Wait, is she into the Empire State
I think I can
Building
speak
too?
for many people in the respects that we would like to find a lover and be able to stick with that lover and just settle down and grow old together. I long for that very much, but I guess I suffer what they call the 7-year itch, because that's when it seems to happen, when the relationships fizzle out. I love this part that's coming up. It's not unlike one of Bach's chorale preludes. And I think because they're German, they adapted this right here.
Oh, here's the drop. Here's the drop. Holy fuck, yeah! This is me watching Aethel make something on FL Studio.
The part that's coming up, it's not unlike one of Bach's chorale preludes. And I think because they're German, they adapted this right here.
I'm off to the side. She's cooking, she's cooking, she's cooking. It's pretty catchy.
Nice. Yeah, there was like that, yeah.
Say what you will, like, oh, these people need help, blah, blah, blah. Like, I hope they get therapy and can, like, I don't know, heal their wounds. But I think it's kind of sweet how they're like, these people are bonding over their shared love of weird object stuff. She's third wheeling.
Like a hurricane.
Yeah.
It feels like that sometimes in your heart.
Yeah, it does.
So caught up in
it's
it.
just a rush of emotions. That's what love does to you.
Yeah, well, it's this magic dream. It's, you know, it's great.
Amy and her clicked. But she just smiled from ear to ear and says, Mom, there's other people like me out there.
Yeah.
And she just was filled with joy.
Yeah, and that can be part of the healing
You can
process.
see him a little
and
bit there. Just the,
it's okay if they embrace their love of the Eiffel Tower or a fair ride.
My heart's just going boom, boom, boom.
Wow, he is really tall.
Yes, he is.
Cause like, you know how people say like Dark Souls killed my depression. For this person, what cured their, or like there's no cure really, but like what helped the healing process is having an attachment to a fair ride.
Oh my god.
Wait.
After 5 months.
Is she thirsting after this lady's, wait, I don't know if it's a BF or GF or partner? This lady's partner? She's like gasping at it. Bro, step off.
Oh my god. After 5 months, it's good to see. It's good to see.
No. Your love is pure.
He's just so noble, so proud, so strong. I not only love him for a sexual attraction, I mean, we're not talking about fetish here. I love him as a mate. I love the roundness of his counterweights at the top.
Aww.
I love him for the narrowness of his jibs.
His jibs.
I love him for the elegant lines of his gondola, which is now covered up for the winter.
Ooh,
I like the ribbing up underneath his...
I live near this park. I believe that ride is no longer there.
Oh, do you think she's still...
yes, I see it, yeah.
Do you think maybe she bought it? I'd be heartbroken if I was her and it just like went away forever.
I'm thinking, oh geez, you know what I'm thinking about. This is very personal. When I make love to him at home, when I start climaxing, I just keep saying over and over again, just as I'm starting to go over the edge, I just tell him, I want your fluids, I want your fluids, I want your fluids.
Get a little close to home there, 9.
See, these people, they're not so different from any one of us.
I want your fluids, I want your fluids, I want your fluids.
Is he talking about the oil that like greases up the joints? Oh, the grease!
Furious will make me go comsies.
Coming, I feel it coming. I feel it coming. I'm coming. Gondola, gondola, spun, oh, 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 oh.
Thank you. It's so greased up. She's rubbing the grease. I didn't notice that she rubbed the grease all over her face. You're gonna get a breakout.
I did not expect to find a fence like this here at all. He's perfect. I mean, this is the shape that I like so much. These angles, fabulous.
Oh, this girl likes a fence too? Wait, who is this? Which girl is this? I can't tell. Is that the Eiffel Tower girl?
You smell good. God, you smell so good.
Is she making out with it? Is she using tongue? What the fuck is that? Ah! What are you doing? What is she doing? What is she doing?
To this fence, and I would like to get to know this fence better.
She's just sitting on it. She's just getting to know the fence. It's normal. She's just getting to know it. She's just getting to know it.
And I think that happens between human relationships as well, but I'm definitely physically attracted to this fence.
Oh, it's like a booty call.
And I would like to get to know this fence better.
The fence is her side home.
At home have I asked you for... Look at me.
Look at me and say it.
This is the most depressing thing I've ever seen on stream before. I feel bad for them.
I mean, I feel bad about the trauma they experienced, but I think if this makes them happy, then go for it. You just don't understand their love, bro.
How many times over when we've made love at home have I asked you for...
Look at me. Look at me and say it.
What? What did she say? Look at me. Look at me.
I don't want to
Look
go.
at me all greased up with the cocoa butter. It gives me a
I'd rather
healthy glow.
stay here with you.
Look at me.
It's never really goodbye to anyone. Because 1001
I am the
Knock,
gondola captain
as I
now.
have told you many times before,
She's spitting.
and I will many times repeat it. I love you.
That's honestly kind of touching in a fucked up way. Oh yeah, she's actually getting married. Wait, she invited the
Amy loves
fair-eyed girl to
objects,
her wedding?
not people, in a romantic way. One of her more
Are they gonna
exotic
do like
lovers is
the... Are they gonna do like the bouquet toss too?
people in a romantic way. One of her more exotic lovers is a church banister,
Ooh,
whom she calls
loves
Strader.
banisters.
There was a newlywed show on the other night, and they asked the question, what's the oddest place you've ever had sex in? And I laughed because I don't think any of them could have had sex in a more odd place than I did, in the church.
I don't think that counts as
I'll put it this way. No different than what happens between a man and a woman. All the foreplay and the ultimate act that we all go through.
Reminds
And
me
the
of the
after
Korean
effects,
fetish room video.
What is that? Do I want
what
to know?
some people refer to as post-coital bliss.
I think do only girls experience
trembling
that? There's
because-
always memes about like girls after they, you know, and it's like a person looking out the window and looking at the sun, and then it's like guys after they, you know, and then they're just like extremely depressed and want to end it
Yeah,
all.
and I'm only just friends with Shadowmere. Me.
Me.
Well, obviously because of how much I love him, but this, you know, just finally having a
nobody
voice
was, like,
through
in the church when
you
she-
producing this, you know,
Oh,
working on producing this documentary. I've never had a voice to the human race before, never been able to
Just the organ player?
have
Do you think
people
she had him
listen-
play some fucking
really
organ
listen
versions of Marvin Gaye?
to how I feel and what I have to say.
Most of the time, an objectum sexual is alone with their beloved object, or just the image of it.
Sheeran.
People can love objects, but they love them to a certain degree.
Okay, is
More or
this
less for
the Eiffel
practical
Tower
purposes.
girl? I'm being honest. Who is this? Is this the same girl who was with the other fence? Her hair looked longer. Is this the archery girl? Is the archery girl the same as the Eiffel Tower girl? I'm honestly asking. She cheated on the bow? Fuck. The fence sitter. Fucking centrist.
That's why they don't see the soul of the object.
Oh yeah, she has the tattoo of the Eiffel Tower.
Whereas when you truly are interested in an object, and you're willing to bare your soul, then you see theirs.
Sounds like some hippie shit. That fence is thinking like, man, I just want to watch the fucking game. Man, fuck this shit.
He's an amazing,
I just
he's an
want to go
amazing
play.
lover.
I want to play Call of Duty and watch sports highlights.
He really is.
I bet he's thinking about other fences. She's gonna get a splinter. It's making me uncomfortable.
My mother and father divorced when I was 1. And
why is
it
divorce
wasn't
such a,
one of
I
those
guess it's like
good
a childhood
divorces. It was one of those
trauma.
ones where my mother absolutely
Fuck,
detested
man.
my father for the abuse that he put her through. Living
God
conditions
damn.
were not suitable for me as a child, and the Department of Human Services had me removed
Man, those formative years
for my own safety.
can really fuck you up.
And,
What was the worst thing about your childhood up to that point?
I'd have to say that it was being molested over the course of 2 years.
What? Jesus! I have to skip.
She managed to defend herself as she was sleeping with a Japanese sword. Her
What?
lover at the time.
Wait, so she was in a relationship with a Japanese sword, a bow, a fence, the Eiffel Tower? Whoa. Damn.
She was then asked to give up the sword, but refused.
Given her full history, it is possible that she will never be able to part with her sword and will need to maintain a boundary between herself and others. She exhibits some personality traits which are common in survivors of childhood abuse, such as fear of abandonment.
Naisho was dismissed from the army some 10 years ago
So does
on
she, like,
psychological
train with
grounds.
it?
She has
I will
a
never
chronic
joke about
post-traumatic stress
Shadowmere after this stream.
If I am the way I am today
My
because
plan
of
is
everything that
working.
happened to me, then I'm all right with it. Because I wouldn't change who I am now.
I can understand sleeping with and cuddling a sword like a stuffed animal.
But things are changing. Naisho used to love weapons of aggression. Not anymore. Her new lovers mostly give joy to people. Apart from one, the Berlin Wall.
Oh, the Berlin
Naisho
Wall
herself
again.
doesn't quite understand that passion. And so she travels to Europe to find her answers and to visit her grand lovers. Her first stop is Sweden to catch up with her old friend and mentor, Aerita.
Wait,
A
so
little human warmth,
both of them
after
like
all,
the Berlin
can
Wall?
be
I
of
thought it
help
was just
too.
one of them.
Hello.
Good to see you.
Naisho is very much in love with the Berlin Wall, Aerita's husband of 30 years. Objectum sexuals believe in polygamy.
So you both love the Berlin Wall, right?
It's a polycule.
And you're sitting at this one table. How does it work?
I don't think surely I don't think they all believe in that though. Surely there's like an objective sexual that's like, no, the Berlin Wall is my waifu. Stay away, you know? And gets like really pissed off when they hear about other people who are in a relationship with it. Get like jealous.
Why wouldn't it work?
But then you did say earlier today that there have been some difficulties.
Yeah, it was in the beginning.
Do they claim segments?
Just didn't understand each other as well. Yeah. Well, now we understand and it's no problems.
The women share a mutual understanding and yet another lover. A
What
provincial
bridge is
bridge near Leiden.
Ooh, that's an obscure bridge. They're probably the only person in a relationship with it.
A woman. You are just a bridge. And to the world you serve your course.
Angel thump.
And they expect me to.
And so Naisho goes to Berlin to see her most controversial and complicated lover, the Berlin.
Personally, I'd lose my absolute shit if I found out some other hussy was snail trailing all over my Aethel Tower.
Yeah, me too, bro. If I was okay, I can understand why people are into this kind of stuff. I'm not personally into it, but if I was the type of person who was, I would be so pissed off if anyone was like, "Oh yeah, I love the Eiffel Tower. The Eiffel Tower is so hot." I'd be like, "Step the fuck off, bitch! You come to me on my fucking birthday party, my fucking birthday, or the birthday present on my fucking birthday party present. Fuck you." I'd be pissed.
Thousands died trying to cross it to escape to freedom.
Who the fuck are you? The Eiffel Tower doesn't know you, bro.
In 1989, a
Get
rejoicing
out of her
crowd
DMs.
pulled the wall down, marking the end of communism. Only a few remnants are left.
Soviet concrete.
The Checkpoint Charlie Museum is devoted to the memory of those who died crossing the Berlin Wall. Naisho wants to learn more about the history of her beloved, but it's painful.
Jesus.
Could you explain why it was important to destroy the Berlin Wall in 1989?
It was very, very...
For them, is this like people who get like really into like anime characters, like waifu husbando? Is this like them like learning about the lore of their favorite like anime character?
important to destroy.
Do you think they ever get into arguments about like who is the better like historical building, like Eiffel Tower versus San Francisco Bridge versus Spirit Halloween?
Berlin Wall, you know, the wall was not just a wall. The wall was the strongest part of the division of the world. Imagine, I was grown up in the Ukraine. You cannot imagine how it is in former communist countries.
I'm not talking about the political part of it. I'm talking about being taken away and abused, violated, physically abused. Those things I can relate to.
At least these women's wafers are real.
I've experienced that. I'm not saying that I had it worse than the people in the communist country. By all means, I'm not saying.
They did separate.
Oh God, bro, stop! Stop it! Stop!
The family, they did put the mother in the prison and the children separated in a special house.
At least those parents still love their children. My parents didn't love me at all.
Stop. Oh, stop. Stop it. The Berlin Wall is just misunderstood.
I tried to hate you. I tried to hate you. And what I don't get is that they say you brought all this pain and suffering to people, so why is it such a big problem that you bring happiness and joy to me? I mean, isn't that what they want? Is people to have happiness and joy? I curse myself for being human.
Bro.
I wish I were an object just like you. I wish I were part of you.
Do you think
said to me
like
some time ago that in some
you
strange
could become part of like a wall or like a building by like having your ashes mixed into like the brick?
way you felt there were similarities between you?
Has anyone ever done that?
We don't need no education.
I feel that the Berlin Wall was built, made, and then later rejected by the people that made him.
The Great Wall of China.
And I have to say, I feel that way about my own life. I feel that I was brought into this world, and
just
then
got sealed in.
they later regretted,
right?
and I was rejected, like he was. I just don't understand how some people can bring someone into the world like a child, an object, and then not love them.
True.
I struggle with that
I don't think that applies to
in my own life.
the Berlin
How
Wall, bro.
could someone bring me into this world and not love me?
Don't know.
Even now.
Even now.
No. Oh, fuck. Lady, go back to the Eiffel Tower.
I have had so many opportunities in my life to give up and go down the wrong road.
It's time to commit. It's time to make a
And
commitment.
let-
Go marry the Eiffel Tower.
The wounds fester inside of my heart. But this ragged old wall has taught me a few things. And that
Ragged old
one most
underdog of
important
a wall.
thing is to stand up. And who cares what people think about you? Stand up and be yourself.
God damn it. Women always fall for the fucking bad
And
boys.
I am
You hate to see
standing up and being me. I am the Berlin Wall. You hate me, try to break me apart, try to tear me down, but I will still be here standing.
love
planet
for objects
organ.
has
Fuck.
had its problems.
Am I being
She's been
clickbaited?
ridiculed and rejected. Once upon a time, she had a happy love affair.
This is honestly pretty tame
They
compared
showed
to
it
the
at the
slew of
beginning.
love letters serial killers get in prison. Women are fucked sometimes, El Mayo.
Oh yeah, I hate that like serial killer obsession shit. That's so sad. Like if I was like a family member of one of the victims of one of those serial killers, I would just, oh man, can't even fucking imagine that shit. That makes me so mad. People are fucked. There's so many fucked up weirdos in the world. Anyway, let's keep watching this documentary about this woman who thinks she's married to the Eiffel Tower.
With a church organ called Paul. When the previous pastor found out about the affair, he asked her to leave, and that broke her heart. Now there is a new pastor, Pastor Mark. He's only just found out about her sexual encounter with the church banister. Amy is terrified that he too will exclude her from his congregation.
Bro,
The moment of reckoning is coming.
How you doing, Amy? How are you? Doing all right?
this is fun.
Dude, I just joined in the middle of this. I thought she had her son's ashes put into that object, so I was like, okay. But she legit is just in love with an object.
No. She's not gonna have any
What year was
sons.
this made and where are these people now?
This video at least is 11 years old. I feel like this is from the early 2000s at least. And this is a church where like people take their families and shit, and she's like rubbing up on the banister, getting her like, oh man, bodily fluids and shit on it.
Why?
Because how Pastor Coon's supposed to be in the past.
I mean, if you're in love with the banister, fine, but like you don't gotta
Very
like
hurt.
rub up on it and snail trail it, bro. Please stop fucking our banister.
You know you're welcome here. You're welcome here.
Thank you.
You're welcome here.
I've never been able to tell this story to anybody. But when I played the organ here years ago, Paul, as I call him, his name is Paul.
I can fix her.
Although he's not what he was since they got the new digital organ, I loved him like a boyfriend. And when Pastor Coons took him from me, it broke my heart.
Pastor Coon?
But this is still God's house. And Christ opens the door and welcomes us in. And he welcomes you now.
She's just blessing it with her holy water.
When you were baptized, and he welcomes you every time you come to this table, at this rail. Shall we pray? Dear loving God, we thank you for your great love for us, reaching out and
I've had
welcoming
my
us,
hands on my face for most
broken
of this
people,
video.
facing so many hurts in our broken world. We pray, O Lord, that you will open the hearts of people who shut doors.
Jesus. You're making us watch? I couldn't watch it alone either.
How big it?
This is scale 1 to 20.
Despite their differences,
she made
the
up with
curator of the
the
Checkpoint Charlie
curator.
Museum in Berlin has commissioned Nyshow to build 6 new models of the remnants of the Berlin Wall.
I want to have all your model for the museum.
The contract is worth 10,000 euros. Who knows? Maybe it does mark a new beginning in Nyshow's personal development.
That's beautiful. Angel
To
thumbs in the chat.
celebrate,
Angel thumbs.
Nyshow goes to Paris for the first anniversary of her wedding to the Eiffel
Christ
Tower.
opens the door, please don't fuck it.
Let's go.
This time she's determined to consummate their marriage at last.
This is the spot. This is where I was married.
There it is. It's so romantic. Aww.
I'm shaking.
Bring it flowers.
It's a
at
challenge to be
least.
truly intimate with a public structure. But where there's a will, there's a way.
Hold on a second. I have to hide the screen. Oh! Guys? You hear that? It's time! It's gonna tutu. It's tutuing. Oh, it just did one tutu. Fuck. Choo-choo! Okay, I'm watching it. She's just like straddling it and like...
Oh, boy. Well, every time I come here,
awkwardly
I always
sitting on it.
feel that there's some distance, some barrier between her and I, but now that barrier is gone. I mean, I'm one with her. I'm connected to her. I mean, there's nothing between us right now.
Officer, she's right here. Whoa, okay.
I miss the dolphin fucker.
You know what? Me too.
I can feel that. I can feel her right now. And I don't care if people don't believe that I can communicate with her. It doesn't matter to me. Really, the only parties involved are her and myself in this relationship. So people call me cuckoo, I don't care. What we have is real. And if it's only real to me, and it's only real to her, it's fine.
Wow, the Eiffel Tower looks beautiful right now. She's glowing. It's that post-coital glow. God damn.
Next week, nudity.
I need to watch something blow up. I need to watch something blow up right now. I just need to reset my brain. How did they get that much fucking air? They did a cartwheel. Does it absorb enough of the shock when it goes down from that high that it doesn't like hurt your
That monster truck is someone's boyfriend.
No. I mean, you know what? If someone's in a loving, committed relationship with a monster truck, I would understand. That was actually amazing. What the fuck? What the fuck? How?